And I have Glenwood here from the Martinsville Club, formerly from the Front Royal Club a couple of years ago. And he is moving back to the community and something in our Rotary. Anyway, thanks for being here.
Welcome.
And yesterday I have Stephen Rice. He is with Blackburn, an attorney, law office, and welcome again.
Thank you all for coming today. Call past President Derek up.
Thank you, President Katie. It is our club's tradition to honor past presidents of our club with as a Skelton Fellow. And this is the William E. Skelton Endowed Scholarship that our district operates. And so today we are happy to honor Brett Herbeck, being named a Skelton Fellow of Rotary National District 7570 for all of his service and to recognize our club and supporting that endowed scholarship. Congratulations, Brett. Thank you.
Whoever's the closest phone. Take the picture.
And he does have a lot of Rotary pins, but we're going to add one more to it.
We talked about General Leesmo's Rotary, like South American dictators.
So I hope most of you saw on Facebook, we posted this past weekend. We went down to district conference and we were pleasantly surprised with some awesome awards. So I'd like to present them to the club. So we got second place in public image. We got second place in community service. We were recognized for giving to Polio Plus. And then we got first place in club service. And we'll try and figure out where to hang these. Yeah. So first place in club service, and the other one is pink. First place. Oh, you got. What do you have?
Did y'all rehearse?
We did.
Yeah.
And first place in club partner. Yeah, over there. Over there. So I really want to thank you guys because this seriously come. This is gonna start the day over for real. This really comes from you guys. It's from us annoying you for sponsorships. It's from asking you to volunteer. It's coming to meetings every week. It's working your butt off to make this group what we do. So I think everybody deserves a huge round of applause. Also, Ron and Kathy Napier were honored for being Arch Clump Society members. So that's over $250,000 to the foundation. So congratulations and thank you for all you do. And now if anybody knows anybody that can sew really well, we need all these patches put on.
And mine and Rex. And Darren.
And okay.
It's a lot of sewing.
I don't know what you're oh, what are you talking about, Rick?
Hollywood stood up there iron on.
Oh yeah, sorry. Listen, I'm going home. So I need cue cards. We have cue cards. I need those.
Are you new at this?
I think so. It's my first meeting. So many of the people in this room knew Dave Mormon and how much youth meant to him. And there is a Dave Mormon Youth Service Award. That is a youth encouragement award. So at district conference, our own Brett Herbeck brought that award home to our club. So I thought that was awesome. So congratulations. I would just read my paper, I was fine. Now, our friends are here, the Northern Shenandoah Valley Communitarians. Come on up. whoever's going to speak can come on up. So those of you that missed, did a business mentorship meeting a couple weeks ago. This group is a nonprofit, a kind of a baby nonprofit in our community. And so I'm going to let them go and then we'll help.
First, you have to read the back of our shirt. That is what we stand for.
I'm just gonna read a little paragraph and then we'll kind of, I think Katie's gonna kind of ask us questions. The Shenandoah Valley Communitarians are a group of like-minded individuals who strive to make our community a better place. We obtained our 501c3 and since have made it our mission to fill in where other nonprofits in our area cannot. Over the last 18 months, we have funded and built a handicap ramp, funded and built the Logan Bell, adopted families for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, funded several elementary schools' 5th grade graduation, served over 300 meals to people in need, funded local sports teams to buy new uniforms and equipment, along with volunteering and supporting with other nonprofits like the Humane Society of Warren County, the House of Hope, and the Salvation Army, and the Thermal Shelter. So the reason why we signed up is we're such babies, and we have a small group there. I think we're missing 8 of us. Yeah, 3 people I think are missing. So we wanted your advice on how to get our name out there, where we can go. So basically, we're not as big as Rotary, but we can fill in family or church or an elementary school, or a teacher comes to us and asks us to help out with the 5th grade. We immediately can go ahead and do it. So we just, yeah, that's us.
That was kind of one of the reasons that I know I got involved in this group, as well. Having the ability to be able to pivot, because oftentimes, you know, we're looking at a project for Rotary that service committee meeting, it's got to go forward. And sometimes that takes a couple weeks, month, and what we recognize is that, oh, here's something that needs to be done this weekend. So getting together kind of a small guerrilla force to go handle those little projects was kind of one of the focuses that we've kind of gotten in on. But a lot of it has been self-funded. We're really looking at maybe trying to start doing our first fundraiser so that we can have some operating capital. Because like we built the handicap ramp, for example, it was paid for pretty much by us, as well as the sweat
only
equity.
Taylor client for the
Right.
we're able to go and get our labor.
So some of those things that we're trying to look at, you know, we're not gonna ever be big enough to handle like big projects, but we're looking at trying to figure out how to bridge the gaps and kind of hit some of those unserved needs, where the bigger organizations that we're part of has a hard time getting to just because of, you know, kind of the red tape.
Yeah, the smaller little projects, like the cheerleaders, for instance, wanted to get new uniforms and they didn't really know how to go about doing it. So they came to us and were like, can you guys help us? So we came up with a raffle and in a week they raised enough money to get their uniforms. So just little stuff like that, yeah. So it's just like little projects that often don't get heard because they're not big and, you know, typically people think, oh, the parents will do that or whatever the situation is. Like we want to help fill that void and make the connections. So
what do you think your biggest challenges are?
we don't have a lot of people in our group. Well, so we need more people, but we're not, how to say, well, we're not consistently meeting at a same place, same time. So it's hard to invite people to come check us out when sometimes yeah.
Well, that's sort of the mission, I think, of our group is to handle those small, quick hit projects that might be harder for our bigger organizations to manage, but also kind of as a force multiplier and support for some of because we've done things in support of House of Hope. I think we're certainly, we've got a lot of membership that aren't libertarians that, you know, Rotary's doing, you know, an event and needs help with a specific task, parking, for whatever for their organization. You know, our organization, we have to assist in that also. So we've really looked at a lot of projects where there's not a big financial investment. Well, you know, the sweat equity is more of the need. But we are looking to get into that realm to where we can potentially raise some operating capital and maybe look at having something to where we don't have to build the right out of our pockets.
Yeah. And any specific goals for the school as an organization? I mean, I know like Rotary's very helpful, have some portfolio.
I think that's kind of what we need help with is kind of narrowing our lane because I mean, we definitely like helping the kids in the community. We've definitely done a lot with that, but we've seen that there's a lot we can help with. So I think we need to kind of help us hone in on where we want to help. I mean, I don't want to say no to people either, though. So I think that's where we're struggling.
I feel like and the focus of this group would be more local rather than national and global.
Yeah.
So and that's what we're trying to address is some of the things that have come up, very personal things with those.
Yeah. And we've only, I mean, we say we're the Shenandoah Valley, but we've really only helped mostly Warren County. So maybe expanding into some other counties since we are the Shenandoah Valley. Communitarians would be helpful.
Have you looked when you talk about the organization, you don't have so many members, meaning you have a limited force. In one side, it's very nice because you don't have to people say, yeah.
That's I think that's the beauty of this.
We don't want to grow too large, but we do need a little bit
But it would be nice for you to have resources to help you. Right. So I do think that youth organizations and stuff that want, like for instance, R&I, when you talk about like the projects over here, one card and the match. They're focused on how they can do community service and stuff like that. And a lot of these young people are. So if you could reach out to them, they don't have to come to meetings all the time, but they're a labor force so that you don't have a lot of money invested in that. And so that's just a simple way to reach out to find more people.
Heidi said something about that this morning at our meeting. Using DECA to
there you go.
do the cooking or something at our fundraiser.
So we would like to have like members that, help plan things and get us on the map, but then we'd like to have like volunteers do that when we have an event that just needs.
You also might talk to businesses, I'm immediately start thinking of some stuff that we can do. And for instance, in Linden, if you were to come down there and have an event, it could be from selling popcorn to flea market. If you had an event like that to help fundraising, reaching out to the business, simply doing exactly what you're doing now, but maybe honing in to creating a list that isn't too broad and say, okay, let's get in touch with these, and then you can spread them.
Anybody else in the room have feedback or?
So I guess a question for you guys, if we were to reach out to you and ask for help with sponsoring something or a donation, what would you be looking for us to bring to you?
For example, we're getting ready to do a fundraiser. It's in the works still, but we are doing like I told you, like the country games at the fairground, and we're going to get people to sign up to do different games, and we'll have them pay like $5 to enter. And then we're thinking having sponsors. We're thinking about getting local organizations and just like really honing in on them. Like if Rotary wanted to come and collect money for polio or something, we could have set up a tent, and then that way we're bringing the whole community together by trying to raise money for the communitarians to be able to buy Easter baskets and adopt families for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Because that was one of our biggest projects I think we did starting out, and we went from one family to 15 baskets this morning. So I mean,
and we do a lot of that out of our pocket. Like the bigger things we save our membership money for. So like the ramps and stuff like that. So the little things we're kind of just doing out of our pockets, which has been successful so far. But
Do you have a business?
So the other thing that I think would be important for us to be able to address our Rotary function with is recognizing that this group might be able to utilize in some of the things that I'm already starting to think about some of the things we might be able to utilize too. So I think that's something we probably would like to present to you guys as well. Hey, look, if you need a thing done for an event that you're having, we might be able to fill that role as well.
I mean, I think as an outsider looking in, my thought as far as like a goal or something like that, I feel like Rotary and many other organizations in our community are very broad. And I think if you all can pick a specific, I mean, if it's just you, I mean, that's a great subject. But be more specific, because then I think it's easier for us to understand. Because right now, I'm sure there are people in the room that think that you're trying to do something similar to us. But it sounds like from the things that you posted, you have those set on you, and I think that's amazing. I think that's, you know, we all can understand that. And then when you're saying about like asking and stuff, I know me personally, and like for our grants and stuff like that, a specific project, like not operating costs, and frankly, not even like a sponsorship of an event. You need to be like, we need to buy basket, or something very specific, because we can do the other stuff, but if you have a project that needs support and it's very specific, then that makes more sense than just sponsoring you when we could just keep funding you ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it would take $25 to sponsor a basket, or $50 to sponsor a turkey dinner for a family, or whatever. And, you know, maybe you could utilize social media and, you know, set up a PayPal or something, if you don't have it already, where people could do that, they do that online. And, you know, because people at 3 in the morning when they're up, they do crazy things. I don't know how I know. But anyway, it's easier to donate money than money.
Yeah.
No, there's no wine involved.
I would like to say something from our side too, is Habitat. We have a lot of it, and it's frustrating. We always say we're not an emergency service, so I do think that like emergency service thing is big. I mean, for us, I don't do stuff on rentals. We did do also a ramp on a rental, but we went outside of our what we're protected. You know, and I can't fix anything, but I have a board, I have committees, I have a budget that have to follow, not great stuff. So, and our people have an application. So for us, it's really hard because they have to be within this 30 to 60% income range. And unfortunately, some of those people don't make enough money, which is weird. Then they're like, you can't help me because I don't make enough money. You know, so we did a water heater recently, the lady did not qualify, and it sucked. It took us 2 months. But I was able to ask for a free water heater from someone and ask for someone to do it for free. So I try to get it a scholarship. So
And see, that's the kind of thing we want to do, is like partner with you guys. So say you had like that ramp, for instance, say you guys had something similar at Habitat, but you couldn't fulfill it because of whatever you just said. Okay, well, I can call the Communitarians, maybe they are looking for a project or have, so it's just.
Something smaller, because we can be a little bit more nimble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we work with the other one, and I think I have you guys on our list, you know, because we get a lot of people send people to us. So our board person is constantly with them for things that we can't accommodate. But we gave the house a little door because we have that connection with Lowe's. I'm constantly getting donations. I have an amazing $2,000 brand new front door sitting in the office right now. Someone else needs a front door. But so those kind of things too, because we as well, so we want to help those other as well. You guys.
I agree with Katie and George on the youth portion, but what I'm hearing, and especially when you were mentioning it, it's like aha moment. It's the red tape that holds all of us back. And that, I think, is more what your vision and mission, instead of focusing on what is in this political environment, we're all held back by everything, the vision and all that. The fact that you guys can be called and step in like that. Our church has used you for dinner together. And we appreciate that, because a lot of times, you know, it's a last minute thing. I think that's the best vision right there.
Well, that's what I think.
That's the red tape.
I really think back this organization, because again, I'm moving with her, so it's like we can do that.
Right.
But before the board, oh, it needs to be done this weekend.
Yeah.
We need to do it right now. So it's an option to be able to get those little things done that you know, Band-Aid group.
Right. Well,
Free
yeah.
events. Right, free events.
And in the same vein, the the demographic that needs the most help doesn't plan in advance. And so it's usually an emergency that needs to be done. It comes to road, or church, or wherever. Oh, yes, we want to do something, we want to get it, it's later, it's too late. So I think, personally, I think that's,
So how do we put that out there like that?
I think Lindsay.
Right, that's my question, because I do feel like we're all, we're all involved in other organizations and, so we do kind of say, hey, this was brought to our attention, but that group can do it. And our group text is insane. We're just not doing it. And it's always people's text.
3 o'clock.
But how do we present that to someone? I mean, I love the idea of we can cut through red tape, or get rid of the red tape, but how do we present that to a group that wants to know where their money's going?
And getting groups like this,
Yeah.
maybe that.
I,
Narrow down their vision, so, because you're trying to make your identity, you're trying to form your identity, so.
but as an
Yeah.
individual, most people would rather give to that and the personal nature of it instead of a large organization that they get caught in, all sorts of subcommittees. And I may be wrong, but you guys are, I know most of you are awesome. And get that personal place out there and say, look, there's a trust thing. We want to cut the red tape. We want to just get this done. I don't know.
The local agencies that focus on short term, unexpected, like the Red Cross. Yeah, they're always looking, okay, this weekend we need help for this. Yeah,
Gail's still up there.
How do you all interface with the Department of Social Services?
Not as much, but well, we have some with, Michelle Smeltzer,
Yeah.
which we did some stuff with the, child.
Because the department's going to identify
Right.
a lot of needs that your organization wants to address. So I would imagine that you want to have a very close relationship with the department.
Yeah, because
Michelle Smeltzer.
we pretty much, we all pretty much have kids in elementary school or higher, and we, very high. We talk to guidance counselors to get local kids like that, but you should.
Two things. One, I think everyone's kind of saying it in a similar way, but working with other nonprofits, I think is where you guys find your niche, right? So it sounds to me like you don't necessarily want to narrow yourself to a specific group that you're serving, if it's kids or adults or folks, whatever it is. I don't think that's really where you are. I think you guys are really trying to fill the gap. So I think in order to find those gaps, you need to know what the services are that are already out there. And the best way to do that is just get yourself partnered up with these other organizations. Listen, Habitat, I know I can't build a house, but I can make sure that you have a gutter can heat or whatever it is. And two, for love of Pete, put a donate button on your Facebook page. So, I mean, that is the single greatest way to fundraise.
Well,
Really
to be fair, we
talk to
jumped
anything.
out our 501.
Yeah, we did.
But that took a little while. All right, Lindsay, see me after the meeting.
I will love to stop, but I will help you. But I think finding those opportunities where the other organizations or services are falling short, that's where you guys really want to be, is what I'm hearing. So I think that's where you find your best partnerships, where you find where you can serve that.
Hey, I'm going a little off track a little bit, but I think there's a huge opportunity, or at least I've learned in the last, since this year started. There are people in this community who want to help, but don't have the luxury of coming to a Rotary meeting during lunch. And we're rather privileged to be able to do this. At our organizations this year, we all started what's called a cares committee. And it's a team, and their job is to find ways that our employees can interface with the community and be boots on the ground and impact the community. And what we found is all the things that we do traditionally don't work in an environment where the employees are essential. We can't shut down on a Saturday to go do a fundraiser event because people are depending on us to keep their vehicles running. It's not really, so we keep, yeah, we can be more agile if we knew what the opportunity was, if we knew what the project was, if we had something that wasn't big, that was small, that could require some agility. So if you had some relationships with businesses like me or other people who have essential workers that maybe could provide some, who don't have the ability to commit a lunch to Rotary or to join a club or to meet because of the nature of their work, but they still care about the community, want to invest in their community, want to have an opportunity to serve. We would love to provide our team with opportunities to invest in their community that does not require us to shut down for the day, require our employees to not work for the day, because they might not get paid if they don't work. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff that we have to navigate, and we do because we see the big picture. But I would love to be able to have conversations with a group like you to say, what could we do in our organization where you could use our boots on the ground, where our people walk away feeling like they did something, but we don't have to shut down for the day and make our customers do without services for the day. And you guys can serve the public in a better way. And I don't have the answer, I'm just kind of posing the question, but just think about that, because I would love to meet some of those needs, the things we're running up against. We have a list of things we like to do, and I can't do it, can't shut down, it's Saturday, freak out, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to be able to provide that opportunity to our team to help. Yeah.
So, I mean, we're flying under the Rotary flag here, so I'll throw this out there, and I just sent you a text message with it. But there is the Rotary Community Corps, which is exactly what you're doing, just not flying under the Rotary banner, which is non-Rotarians who are doing the work, going out there that can't do exactly what Emily said, can't come to a meeting, can't commit to the money to belong to a Rotary club, but you fly, you have the benefits of Rotary and our image and the prestige and the people in this room and Orange County's club and other clubs. So that might be where you can set up under that kind of umbrella and start tapping into the power of Rotary to help without the red tape that you were just talking about, where you could still operate as an independent entity, no dues, but you still have that affiliation in that network.
Has anybody else done that?
Not that I know of. Ron, do you know of any?
I think Fred's idea is a really good one, because like when you go to fundraising, I would say it took us 96 years to get to this point. So it's hard to be like, okay, I mean, we're very proud of this $157,000, whatever it says, but again, it took 96 years. So if you can, again, more partner with people, or you're just gonna work your rear end off. I mean,
I just said the ugly devil's advocate thing, but I think also as a way of self-preservation for the group, that, as much as you don't want to set limits or boundaries, that I think just to preserve yourselves, that that's gonna have to be a part of the conversation at some point.
Well, it's got to be small projects.
You have to start saying no. Potentially taking advantage of. And so there's a lot of things that, like, as much as we hate red tape, sometimes it is beneficial and it helps. And I'm not advocating for that, but I think it's just something on to think about for self-preservation of your insanity, your funds, and all these things.
Well, I think that's kind of why we haven't brought ourselves too much attention yet, because what you just said, it's like, we don't want too many people come knocking on our door. Right now, we can kind of manage what we've been asked to do, but if we take it to the next level, will we? That's kind of why we're still where we are.
I think your social media is good. I can help with the project and stuff that way. And
Don't do that.
But you need to donate but no, I think that's a good way to get the message out, but maybe do some press releases too. Just take those social media posts and send them to local media, because not everybody does it.
I thought about that. I do want to thank you, because he did say that we did the handicap grant by ourselves, but you actually donated to the handicap grant, and we appreciate that. So that helps.
Do you know that, George?
He did. Yeah, she donated to our.
It sounds like something I'm gonna do.
We would hope the little old lady get it for her house.
What's the intake structure? If I wanted to apply for something, like, how do I do that?
How do you be in our group?
No, like, if I would have your money or your time as a whatever, how do I do
Well,
that?
right now, currently, you just tell us if you want
Yeah.
to talk to us.
And then we either group to everybody.
So you recognize that's not necessarily the same model. right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
I need to get you home.
and that's where other people's ideas are good. Like, looking at how Rotary is, how Kiwanis, how Lions, like, how do they build these things? Because, I mean, like Lizzie's saying, you have to have paper, especially everything, especially now that we're 501c3. You need to have some kind of structure, and all those structure is annoying.
Well, I mean, it would have been nice for President Kane's Day.
I'll let it go with.
But just reiterating too, I think it's us all working together. And for me, I rely on churches, on social services, like Ron said, for them, even like along with the cars, you know, we meet all as nonprofits because people that we know that are already qualified that have a need, maybe that person can help with too. And like I said, our red tape is big, but it's because we're one of the number one nonprofits in the world. And we had to deal with that on a basis. I mean, it's devastating telling people no. We have a repair right now. The man is in the hospital. He doesn't have it. But, you know, we have to do title searches. So when we see that him and his siblings actually own the house, then his siblings will sign off on it. So I can't fix this, you know, and it's devastating. Everyone's mad and they're crying, calling us, but someone else can go and do it. But we have these rules, like I have to have another sign off, especially when you're going into people's houses. Like I would wish I could build so many more houses every day of the week. The repairs and stuff are so important to our community and vital in keeping like the elderly in place. And it's so hard going into these houses. Have reliability to everything. It's difficult. I mean, I've had hail ripping up some legs before. We do it, but definitely us all working together so we understand each other's needs and help each other.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming, and obviously, if there's anybody here that would like to speak with them after, or maybe something at this point, but thank you guys, and congratulations for everything you've done. Thank you. I do want, Erin, is this your first real meeting?
I think so.
Congratulations. I'm sorry. So I think if that's all, we stand for the four-way test.
Are you gonna sing it?
Yeah, we're gonna sing it.
Think, say, or do, first is the truth, second and the third of all concern, third will of no goodwill and better friendships, fourth be beneficial to all concerned.
Have a great weekend.